Hi everyone, welcome back for another beginner friendly tutorial on this channel. Today we are going to learn how to make this pocket shawl. You can use any yarn of your choice. If you are new here, kindly please subscribe to this channel, and without wasting any time, let's get straight into this tutorial, and I hope you'll enjoy this project. As usual, for us to start our tutorial, we need the requirements for it, and I am going to be using what I've laid in front of you here. I have my tape measure. You need a stitch marker, a yarn of your choice. I'm going to be using a medium weight yarn, which is 50 grams and 100% acrylic. So I want my tension to be a little bit loose, so I'm going to be using a 4.5 millimeter hook for this medium weight yarn. While you check your yarn out there, you should be able to see what recommended hook size you need for it. Some of these yarns specify what hook size you need, and you will need a scissor and a needle. For this pocket shawl, we will make a pocket shawl that is adjustable. Some of you want it very long, meanwhile some just want it short and comfortable. The length is going to be determined by you, but for purposes of accuracy and to get how long you should work this pocket shawl, I would advise you to stretch your arms all out and then get your tape measure. When you have stretched your arms all out, you can let someone assist you. Like, I don't know, let me just say this is my body and I have stretched my arms out like this. So you're going to get a tape measure and measure from this up to the other end to see how long that is going to be, and you are going to use the length of what you have gotten there to determine how long you want your pocket shawl to be. Okay, you can add an inch or two to it, which is your choice. If that is still short for you when you wrap it around your neck, you can continue to add a few more inches to it. Like I said, this pocket shawl, the length is basically determined by you. Some of you want it shorter, others want it long, that you can actually wrap it twice on your neck. All your choice. Is that okay? And that is the length. For the width is, you can for a smaller size, I'm making a smaller size, and it's going to be between 16 to 18 inches. That is with the ribbings. Okay, I intend to include ribbings for this pocket shawl, so I'm going to work the body of it, and then the rest of it will be the ribbing, assuming if you wanted your pocket shawl to be 18 inches wide. Okay, you will now have to crochet around, let's say 16 or 14, I don't know, something like that. I'm just explaining. These measurements are going to be determined basically by you. Okay, now for a medium size, the length can be some, because when I stretch my arms out, it is even longer than 60 inches. So you can imagine how long my pocket shawl is going to be. But on top of that 60 inches, I might add an inch or two, so which means my pocket shawl is going to be around 60 to 65 inches, and I'm making a medium size. So if you stretch out your arms and it is 50 inches, you add a few inches to it, or you just maintain it at 50 inches. All your choice. Is that okay? Now let's get to this tutorial. I'm going to be using this shade of yarn, and the pattern that we're going to be using will require us to make multiples of 3 chains. So when you're making your chain, you chain multiples of 3. I'm going to chain it very long enough that when I crochet, I can get the required measurement that I need, but I will ensure that it's a multiple of 3. So let's crochet and meet when I have gotten my multiples of 3 for us to start row 1 of this tutorial. Okay, at this point you have already determined your measurements and you are good to go. To make a chain, you wrap your yarn on your hook like this and then pull the yarn like that. Make a chain which is very long enough. I have no specifics in how many number of chains these are going to be, but I advise that make a slightly long chain so that when you are crocheting you will not be limited by the measurements which is in your head. Like now you cannot really determine how many number of chains are going to be in a 16-inch. I advise you make, let's say, 18 inches so that when you crochet, because sometimes your tensions are really tight or loose or whatever, it shrinks. Okay, now we are assuming that if it is shrinks and you had crocheted at least 18 inches, you can still be able to obtain the 16 inches which you want for this pocket shawl. Is that okay? I know I've talked too much, but I'll meet you right back here when I am done making my multiples of 3. Catch you until then. I have made 78 number of chains for now, so my pocket shawl is going to be, let's say, 18 inches, but of course I'm not going to crochet all the 18 inches. The rest will be for a ribbing. I'm going to crochet let's say like 13 or 14 inches, and then the remaining balance will be for my ribbing. This can work for a medium and a small size. Okay, so let's make the first row of this tutorial. Now for us to start, you are going to wrap your yarn on your hook and then count 1 2 3 4. Okay, and then insert your hook in the first chain like that. We're making a V stitch. Okay, and then make a double crochet. Now the chain is in a way that the 3 counts as a stitch and then the remaining one is the chain 1 in between the stitch. Okay, then you are going to wrap your yarn on your hook, skip 2 stitches, keep 2 chains, 1 2, and then in the 3rd chain make a double crochet. Then you will chain 1, wrap your yarn on your hook again, go in the same stitch and make another double crochet like that. You will skip 2 chains again, 1 2, and then in the 3rd chain you make another double crochet, chain 1, and then make another double crochet in the same stitch. By doing that you create a V shape and you call it a V stitch. Okay, meaning you will repeat this up to that desired length which you want your pocket shawl to be. Okay, you skip 2 chains and then in the 3rd chain make a double crochet, chain 1, make another double crochet in the same stitch. So I will repeat this until I obtain the desired length which I want. It's going to be like around 13 or 14 inches, just somewhere there, and then I'll meet you when I'm at that point for us to end our row. Catch you until then. I have made my 13 inches here. Like I said, the rest of this pocket shawl is going to be a ribbing. Unless you're not going to work a ribbing for yourself, you can continue to crochet that desired measurement which you want for this pocket shawl. Okay, now this, when I place a tape measure on it, you can see that it is 13 inches. For us to end this row, we are going to end this row with a double crochet, and this is how you will do it. You are going to wrap your yarn on your hook, keep 1 2 chains, and then in the 3rd chain make a double crochet. So this is my first row. I have, let's measure it again. I have 13.5 inches here, and when we count this is 2, 4, 6, 10. Okay, so this is like 20, and you can imagine 20 times 3 is 60, and the remaining balance we don't need it. Okay, we have been working with multiples of 3. Now for the next row, at the end, I'm just going to cut out this and reduce the tail, probably hide it as I work. Now for the next row is where we will chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the chain 4 counts as a stitch and a chain 1 in between, so you will turn your work. On top of this chain 4, you will make a double crochet in the same stitch like that, and it has created for you a V stitch here, meaning there's a chain 3 and then a chain 1 in between plus this double crochet. Then you wrap your yarn on your hook. Okay, you skip this. Okay, skip this, skip the chain 1 space, and then go on top of this double crochet. Okay, like that, make a double crochet, chain 1, then go in the same stitch, make another double crochet. The point is we are not making a V stitch inside the chain 1 but on top of the double crochet, so you will skip this. Okay, and then skip the chain 1 space, make a double crochet on top of the other double crochet like that, chain 1, and then make another double crochet on top of it. This row is what we will now be repeating up to the end of this tutorial, because it's a repeated pattern. You are going to skip this stitch, skip the chain 1 space, and then make another V stitch on top of that stitch, chain 1, make another V stitch. Okay, repeat this up to the end of your chain. I will meet you when we are at the end of our row. Catch you until then. This is already row 2. Then after that, I'll show you what to do in row 3. It's basically just going to be row 2 over and over again. And while you're here, kindly please subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell on, so that you will be able to receive notification of what I post on this channel. Okay, catch you when I'm at the end of this row here. I'm at the end of my row. Now you are going to skip this stitch, skip this stitch, skip this chain 1 stitch, and then go on top of the next stitch, which is that one, and end with a double crochet. So this is row 2 for you. To start row 3, we will repeat row 2, and each time you start a new row, you are going to chain 4. Okay, but if you don't want to chain 4, all right, because you can already see how the chain 4 makes the row looks like. But if you don't want to chain 4, you can just chain 1. This is also another option, and it's the option that I'm going to be sticking with up to the end of this tutorial. Instead of chaining 4, okay, you chain 1, turn your work, and then make a double crochet in that chain 1 space like that. Okay, then chain 1, make another double crochet in the same stitch, so that you create yourself a V stitch like this. Is that all right? Then wrap your yarn on your hook, skip this stitch, skip the chain 1 space, and then make another V stitch on top of that stitch which you are seeing, and you repeat this over and over again until you obtain that desired length which you want, like that, like that, and like that. So you can see what this pattern is doing. You can see how the V stitches are aligning itself in, it's going like in the opposite direction, something like this. So you can imagine how this will turn out at the end of this tutorial. It's not too thick nor too light, but just warm enough, you know, to have that breathable kind of shawl. Now we will repeat this until we obtain our desired length. Mark that you start your row with a V stitch at the beginning and then end with a double crochet. Is that all right? Catch you until we are at that required length. I am through with crocheting my rectangle. It's really very long. I actually ran out of yarn, so for the next part I'm going to switch to this shade of yarn. I tried to go shopping and couldn't find this shade of yarn. I looked for it everywhere, but then I think I'm just going to use this. It's a little bit close to what I'm working with here, but in the first plan it was just to have a uniform shade. So in case you want to switch color, it's your personal choice, but because I've run out of yarn, I'm going to switch to this shade of yarn. It's a lightweight yarn and I'll be combining two strands to give me the double, to give me the medium weight feel. But this is how what I crocheted looks like. It's very long, and in the beginning I say that you should make a shawl that is very long. When you stretch out your arm, you should make, when you stretch out your arm, you take a measurement of it and then you can add an inch or two to that measurement to make your scarf. Unless you want a very long scarf, you can keep extending the length of this scarf. And I wanted my scarf to be, because when I stretch out my arm it is like 69 inches wide, so I needed to make something that is a little bit longer than that. Now I have folded this in two. It might not feel in the entire screen, but when I take a measurement of what I've folded here, half of it is 36 inches, so 36 times 2, okay, half of it is 36 inches. So when you multiply this by 2, it's going to give you like 72 inches long, and that is enough for me. I think I calculated that right. Yeah, 72 inches long, and that is the length of my pocket shawl. So for the next part, we are going to work on the sides here. In the beginning I said that I wanted my pocket shawl to have ribbons on the side, and it should be around 18 inches, between 16 to 18 inches wide. But this is entirely a personal choice. If you don't want your pocket shawl to be very large, you can just make what you desire. And my pocket shawl without the ribbon is 13 inches. As I kept crocheting, you can see that it went on shrinking. You see tensions differ, but it's still not bad. I think I started with like 13.5. Now I have like 13 something, which is not bad. Now we are going to work on the ribbing, and I'll be working using this strand of yarn. Now what we are going to do, this is where I ended my row. It's actually where I ran out of this yarn. I think I won yarn chicken. So what we are going to do, you are going to turn this side of your shawl, any side that you want, because these sides are identical to each other. You can wear it inside out, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to attach my yarn here, insert your hook inside here, pull out your yarn like that, and then secure the yarn like that. Now what you're going to do, you are going to make single crochets across up to this point here, and this is how you make a single crochet. You insert your hook in this space here and start your hook in here where you secured the yarn, make a single crochet, and then make another single crochet inside here. Okay, make another single crochet inside this space, make another single crochet inside here, then make another single crochet inside this eye you'll see, and then one single crochet inside that space. Okay, and then one single crochet inside this eye, another single crochet inside this space here, another single crochet inside this space. You are going to be putting one single crochet only, okay, and then another single crochet inside that eye, one single crochet inside here, and then another one inside this space. Okay, don't add more than one single crochet in a place or in a space. Just ensure that you put one single crochet inside each space you come across. I'm going to do the same, and then I'll meet you when we start the next row of our ribbing. Okay, repeat this until when you reach here. I'm going to meet you when we'll be turning our work. I'm at the end. I'm only left with one stitch, so I'm going to insert my hook in here and then make my last single crochet like that. So I am through with row 1 of the ribbing, and you can see how the sides look like. When you place one single crochet in each space that you see, this is how it will look like. Now for row 2 of this ribbing, is actually the simplest ribbing ever. You are going to chain 1, turn your work, and what we shall be doing going forward is to repeat row 2 over and over again by inserting single crochets only in the back loop, so the chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. What you should do is go in the back loop of that first stitch like that, pull out your yarn. You will have 2 loops on your hook, and then make a single crochet. Just make single crochets in the back loop of the sides of in the back loops of this ribbing, and this is what I'll be repeating over and over again. So you start your row with a chain 1 and end with a single crochet in the back loop. That's how it is going to be for row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6, depending on how big, wide, thick you want your ribbing to be. And I think I'm going to make like 6 rows. Okay, so this is how it is going to be looking like for you. And also on this other side, it doesn't really matter right now, but as you keep progressing with the rows, you will see what I'm talking about here. Okay, and when you do this, you need to repeat this same pattern which we are working on this side for this other side of our scarf too. I will work on these 2 sides and then meet you again so that we can work on our pocket. Now we shall repeat this up to the end of this row. When you're at the end of this row, you will chain 1, turn your work, and start row 3 with a single crochet in the back loop of the first stitch, because the chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. Okay, you will repeat the same for row 4. I'm going to continue with this until I have maybe 6 rows. What I'm trying to do, I'm creating a ribbed edge for my shawl, but if you don't want ribbings for this shawl of yours, I think you can just stop at this and then join us again when we shall be working on the pocket side of this tutorial. Catch you until when I am done. I am through with making my ribbons, and this is how it looks like. I ended up making 10 rows for this ribbon. You can continue to make more rows if you want your ribbons to be thicker, but this is where I will stop. I know that I mentioned that I wanted to make at least 6 rows, but then I ended up making up to 10 rows. So when you take a measurement of this shawl now, it's 16 inches. So my shawl is 16.5 inches, and I remember saying I wanted a shawl between 16 to 18 inches, so this is not bad. I am making a shawl for a medium weight person, and this is just perfect for my body. And then I also went ahead and worked on this other side, and then I proceeded to make the pocket. My pocket measures 8.5 by 8 inches. Okay, so make a pocket that will allow your hands slip in all of it. Like when I place my hands here, you can see that it will cover all my hands, and I have longer hands, so make what can work for you. This is according to my hands. Okay, make 2 pieces of this. I already went ahead and attached one side of our pocket and also worked on the ribbing to save us time, because I'm dealing with a lot of noise here, and there's no guarantee that I can get some quiet time sometimes to work. That's why I went ahead and attach one side of this plus the fringes for this side. I also made the fringes for this side and left some little part here to show you people what to do next. Now for the pockets, this is what you're going to do. You're going to lay your shawl flat on your working space, like that. And placement of the pocket depends on how you want it. If you want it lower or higher, you are going to determine that for yourself. I want my pocket to be lower so that when I am slipping my hands inside my pocket, my hands are not too much folded like this. Okay, I hope you can see this on the screen. I want my arm to be a little bit straight. That's why my pocket is going to be lower. Okay, and I measured, that was 3 inches away from me, 3 inches away from me, and those are like 6 rows. Okay, let's do, yeah, those are 3 inches away from me, and those are like 7 rows for me. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so you're going to get one side of your pocket. At this point, you should have your stitch markers with you. Get your stitch markers. Ensure that it's at the center. Let me first change the lighting of this. Okay, I think that's a little bit fair. Now when you have determined where to place your pocket, you're going to get your stitch markers and stitch it down. This will help you sew in your pockets. Okay, so use the stitch marker. You have to balance it. Okay, as you can see, I've not balanced it well, so I have to, yeah, that is balanced now. 1 2 3, and then that. So use a stitch marker to stitch it down. This is going to help you sew in your parts easily. like that. So now what you're going to do, you get your yarn needle and then insert the yarn inside it. Like that, okay? And then what you're going to do, you will now sew in the sides of this pocket down to this pocket shower, okay? Let me secure this yarn like that. And for the ribbing, I decided to make a chain of 50. You can make this chain depending on how long you want your fringe to be when you fold this. So I made a chain of 50 in that when I folded, I was okay with the length of this. So make a chain that is desirable for you. After, you are going to tighten the ends of the chain that you have made like this, like that, okay? And then get your scissor, cut out the tail of the thread like that. So you make several of these depending on how wide the width is of your pocket shower is. And to insert the fringe, this is what you're going to do. You are going to get your fringe like this, fold this like that, get your hook, go inside the V-stitch, okay, in the loop like that, and then pull out your fringe, insert your finger inside the loop that you have made, and then zip it like that, okay? We do that again. You are going to get one of your fringe which you have made, fold this equally like that, let it be uniform, insert your yarn inside here, pull out your yarn, and then tighten it like that, okay? You'll repeat this for all the sides of your pocket shower. Like that, okay? I wanted a different kind of fringes, so I zeroed down on this one. But if you don't prefer this, I think you can use what is desirable for you, like that. Insert one here, and then the last one will go in this corner here. Like that. And this is how your fringe will look like. It's very neat, and I'm actually so much in love with it. I think going forward I will be making my fringes like this. I hope I just don't get tired of this. So let's now sew in the size of this pocket. When we are done, we'll come back here and reveal our final pocket shower. Catch you until then. I have completed to sew in my pocket, and this is how it looks like. And even if you turn it, you are unable to see where this pocket was sewn in from. And I think you can sometimes wear this shawl inside out. That is if you don't want the pockets to be visible. Maybe if you want to change the look, you can just turn this inside and then wear the side without the pocket out. Otherwise, I liked how this turned out, and also the pattern, it's not too heavy nor too light, just warm enough. And I think I achieved what I wanted for this tutorial, and I hope you appreciate this too. And I'm sure you can use this pattern to create so many other things. Maybe in the future I can use this pattern to create something. That is when I think about it. But this is how our pocket shawl looks like, and you can see the ruffles is unique. You can see the flow. So this is the final look of this pocket shawl, and I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. I have similar videos which I'll stitch in the description box below, or you can check the card and watch those tutorials. Kindly please leave me comments, like and subscribe. For those of you who haven't subscribed, I would like to know what you people are up to. If you are finding these tutorials interesting, either way I will continue to show up here with beginner friendly tutorials for you people, because it's something I love to do and I am passionate about it. So for those of you who are interested in joining me in the other platforms, my social media handles are also in the description box. You can click on those links and it will take you to any social media that is okay for you, and you will just follow me from there. Otherwise, see you again in my next tutorial.